I have another example here of Biden being more populist than Trump. And he's actually successfully baiting Trump into taking shitty positions. I'm telling you, I was very impressed with Biden. He seems to have those old school labor Democrat political instincts, even though he's not really a labor Democrat, he's a corporatist. But he still has, since he's been in politics since roughly 1872, he still has those labor Democrat instincts. And that comes across. And Trump takes the bait and Trump face plants. This is definitely not something Trump in 2016 would say. Look at this back and forth on the minimum wage.
Do you think this is the right time to ask them to raise the minimum wage? You, of course, support a $15 federal minimum wage.
I do, because I think one of the things we're going to have to do is we're going to have to bail them out, too. We should be bailing them out now, those small businesses. You got 1 in 6 of them going under. They're not going to be able to make it back. They passed a package that allows us to be able to call PPP. Money is supposed to go to help them do everything from organize how they can deal with their businesses being open safely. Schools, how they can make classrooms smaller, how they can hire more teachers, how they can put ventilation systems in. They need the help. The businesses as well as the schools need the help, but these guys will not help them. Is not giving them any of the money.
We are going to move on to immigration,
one thing very
but I
quickly,
want to get your
we have to help our small businesses by raising the minimum wage. That's not helping. I think it should be a state option. Alabama is different than New York. New York is different from Vermont. Every state is different. It should be a state option.
You said very recently.
We have to help. It's very important. We have to help our small businesses. How are you helping your small businesses when you're forcing wages? What's going to happen, and what's been proven to happen, is when you do that, these small businesses fire many of their employees.
You said very recently you would consider raising the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. You said recently you would consider raising the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. Is that still the case?
And I would consider it to an extent, but what I really like, in a second administration, but not to a level that's going to put all these businesses out of business. It should be a state option. Look, I've lived in different places. I know different places. They're all different. Some places, $15 is not so bad. In other places, other states, $15 would be
Okay, President Trump, thank you. Quick response, Vice President Biden.
2 jobs, 1 job, be below poverty. People are making $6, $7, $8 an hour. These first responders, we all clap for as they come down the street because they've allowed us to make it. What's happening? They deserve a minimum wage of $15. Anything below that puts you below the poverty level. And there is no evidence that when you raise the minimum wage, businesses go out of business. That is simply not true.
We're going to talk about immigration.
Dog. Dog. Biden straight Draxin them sklounced, dog. I'm not a Biden bro. I'm not a Biden bro. Everybody knows I'm not a Biden bro. But I fuck with that answer hard body. That's impressive. That's impressive. Keep it real. He ran circles around him. Don, how stupid are you, Donald? Minimum wage increases poll at 80%. 80%. He's preaching to the 20%. He's preaching to all the business owners. There's a lot more workers than there are business owners, bitch. You have to at least pretend to care about the workers, Donald, like you did in 2016. I should be thanking Fox News and One America News Network for dulling his instincts beyond belief. He lost all of his political ability in 4 years. Wow, I'm really impressed by Biden there. Also because he didn't back down even an inch on the issue of the minimum wage, and he gave the snap answer to the question. By the way, the question was terrible because it was framed from a right-wing perspective. Is this the right time to raise the minimum wage during a pandemic? Maybe it's not. Yes. Yes. And Biden was like, of course it is. Yeah, raise the minimum wage, and let's bail out these small businesses. The small businesses are going to go under because of COVID. Bail out the small businesses and pay a living wage. Oh, I feel so good. Oh, say it again. Say it again. That was good. That was good. So he said, yes, $15 minimum wage and bail out the small businesses. And then Trump says, leave it up to the states, bro. Leave it up to the states. So in other words, you don't want to raise the federal minimum wage, which is $7.25, which is what it was a decade ago. It's not going up with cost of living. Did you know if the minimum wage was tied to productivity, it'd be over $22 an hour? Over 22. If it kept up with inflation, it'd be over 12. Just keeping up with inflation. Unbelievable. How do you walk into that trap, dog? How do you walk into that trap? So he doesn't want the federal government to do anything on the minimum wage. Anything. And then Biden says, no one should work 2 jobs. No one should work 1 job and live in poverty. Nobody. That's what Biden said. And then he accurately points out, there's been studies on this. There is no evidence that when you raise the minimum wage within reason, that it leads to layoffs. It just doesn't. Sure, if you raise it to $70, if you raise it to $50 or something like that, yeah, then a lot of businesses can't afford it. But if you're talking about raising it to a living wage, first of all, it's a matter of principle. If you're hiring people, you should pay them a living wage because it's wage slavery to not give them enough money to survive. That's the first point. The second point is he's right. The studies show it's not going to put small businesses out of business. What's putting small businesses out of business is COVID, which is why Biden is correct. Bail them out. Don't bail out Wall Street. Bail out small businesses. Okay, I'm sorry, but this was one of Biden's best moments of the entire campaign. It was. I was flat out impressed because, listen, I got to be honest with you guys. You've heard me say it before. Previously, I thought, yes, Biden claims he's for a $15 minimum wage. I have never heard him talk about it ever. And I think the reason he took that position was because Bernie kind of prodded him in that direction. And so he's like, okay, I guess I'll concede on that one. He probably used to be for like a $12 minimum wage. So I really thought he wasn't for it because I never hear him talk about it. After watching this exchange, I think he might actually be for it. Like, I think if that legislation got to his desk, he would sign it. You tell me, dog. I'm just your humble servant reporting on that back and forth. But anyway, Trump is in trouble, and this was Biden going full populist, and it landed.